What is proper football? You know, really no holds barred. The game is back. Nonsense. But like nonsense in a, go win the game rough and tumble kind of way. I believe I might have identified some of the purest, some of the most raucous, some of the raunchiest, some of the nastiest vintage football that's been played in the world in a long time. And I have some really horrifying news. It might have just been played in the United States in a match between Sporting Kansas City and the Los Angeles Galaxy, a match that broke an MLS record. And it is one hell of an MLS record to break. It is a match that at first glance does not appeal or does not, appeal to your senses. It doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary. It is a 1-0 win for, Sporting Kansas City over the Los Angeles Galaxy. This is not a surprise. LA Galaxy have not been a particularly good team this year. They won MLS Cup last year, and as everybody knows, with MLS's salary cup stuff, when you win the league the year before, you're probably going to suck the year after. Something that Marco Royce, who plays for LA Galaxy now, has complained about. Said it kind of sucked that they had this great team that went and won MLS Cup and got Marco Royce's trophy, and now all of a sudden that great team has been kind of dismantled because they couldn't keep it together under the way the salary cap works. And Sporting Kansas City got its goal in the 13th minute, courtesy of another one of LA Galaxy's big-name players, Maya Yoshida, former Premier League guy, Japanese national team guy. Right, he scored an own goal in the 13th minute. It is a particularly nasty own goal. This is what it looked like. We've got, right? When you're playing defense in this position, I realize you feel the need to try to clear this ball. But there is not a player on Sporting Kansas City within a country mile of Maya Yoshida. And when you watch it from this angle, as I'm fortunate I was able to find, you see he attempts to kick it with his right foot, but instead it ramps off his left foot and goes straight into the back of the net. A truly horrifying own goal that in many ways, and the announcers kind of said this at the time, epitomizes the season the LA Galaxy have been having. The good news for the LA Galaxy is that over the course of the rest of the match, they kind of dominated. If you watch the extended highlights of this match that I didn't happen to watch live, LA Galaxy created great goal-scoring chance after great goal-scoring chance. So you're thinking, oh, shoot, I'm making a video about the fact that LA Galaxy got FM'd, that they got screwed statistically. When actually, you're right. You're probably just not grasping how screwed statistically LA Galaxy actually was in this match. First, we take a gander at the XG. 1.26 to 0. Pause for effect. Sporting Kansas City did not attempt a shot in this game. Not a shot on goal. Obviously, Sporting Kansas City did not have a shot on goal. Sporting Kansas City did not attempt a shot. If you watch the entire match, you will not see Sporting Kansas City drive the ball towards the goal one time. LA Galaxy is credited with 11 shots, 1 on target, and nearly 2 XG according to this MLS graphic. Obviously, different areas are going to have their different calculations for that sort of thing. But LA Galaxy, if you watch this match, I think they have at least 2 and probably 3 clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, like a ball across the box that if you can just keep it down, it's going to go in the back of the net. Sporting Kansas City didn't even have any of those. Not only did they not have any of those, they didn't attempt a shot. You watch the extended highlights, the entire thing is a highlight reel for LA Galaxy not being able to score. And perhaps the most remarkable thing about all of this is that it was at Sporting Kansas City. They were at home. They didn't attempt a shot in the entire match at home. And they won. I mean, think about that. Think about this for a second. I really need you to get on the boat of realizing how insane this is. How many matches are played? Even those wild cup matches in like Coupe de France where you've got some team from bumfuck nowhere playing against PSG, right? How many matches are played where one of those teams literally does not take a shot? Let alone on goal, just an attempt. Now, there is obviously a contributing factor here. Sporting Kansas City for 77 minutes was not trying to score. Sporting Kansas City had the lead. They had no reason to go looking for a goal. They got that own goal from Maya Yoshida 13 minutes in. And so they just sat back, rested on their laurels, and played disgusting defensive football for 77 minutes. Didn't even think about trying to score another goal. Left it up to their goalkeeper, who I don't really know where these stats are going. Let me go look at the other stats. Right. And this is just a flash score being broken, by the way. This is officially an MLS record. The way it was scored officially is that there were 0 shots in the match. They have it as 3 big chances. The goalkeeper did a really good job. I thought he had more than one save watching the extended highlights of this match. They just leaned on their goalkeeper, and they leaned on the fact that LA Galaxy are just like booty cheeks this year, and they won. This is disgusting. This is vintage football. And it's coming from the United States of America. And when I say vintage, honestly, when I say vintage football, what I mean is, would Sean Dyche approve of what just occurred? So I should probably clarify, because this isn't throw it back to the 1890s this fine Tuesday, right, where they used to play a 1-1-9 formation or whatever it was. And so there was actually a lot more offense back in the good old days. But for me, that vintage football, that, no frills, no fuss, can't even spell tiki-taka sort of ball here, not even trying to score. How many teams win? Like, you just don't get this much anymore. In an actual league match. You certainly never get it in MLS, where there's so much parity you have no idea who's good or bad from year to year. But to have an actual match where you have a team that is just not trying to score for 77 minutes to such an extent they don't even attempt a shot is mind-blowing. And maybe, just maybe, that will be something that can attract Sean Dyche to come want to be a manager in the United States. I think that I could get behind that. But I have a challenge for you. One of those YouTube challenges for people that are actual YouTubers. Try and recreate this in a game. Try to recreate this in FIFA. Does it even work? Is it even possible? Not with conspiring with the other team, because then you could just pass it to them and they could pass in the back of their net and then it would be easy. I'm talking against the CPU being able to win a match without attempting a shot at goal. It's got to be hard. Hell, it's hard to do in real life. And can you imagine having won the league last year, right? And then you're right down here. You have not won a game all season. In 11 matches. You are the reigning league champion. You haven't won a game in 11 matches. You're absolutely miserable, right? You're playing against one of the teams you might be able to beat, Sporting Kansas City, who are down here. They're on 7 points coming into the match. And you walk up to that coach and you tell them they're not going to attempt a shot for the entire game. He would have shaken your hand off. Little did he know, it was the monkey's paw. It was a deal with the devil. And they would lose anyways. I mean, it's insult to injury. It's salt in the wound. It's like they made the deal with the devil last year in order to win another championship and put another star in the LA Galaxy crest, and now that deal with the devil has come due, and they suck. Shout out to San Jose Earthquakes, though, for having 24 goals and 20 goals against in 11 matches. Got to be watching more of their matches. Sounds like a crazy show.